The film begins a young man named Roy while he is in his swimming training in order to prepare that he is participating in the Roma Championship for the next summer, and Bicon Roy lives in a poor city. And every day, he prefers to bother him and says that if the competition is gone in Rome, he will work with him in the workshop in order to remove responsibility. And this is the impact of Farwe like this, and his eating it all the time is upset because there is no one in supporting him or helping him in any need who helped the death of his concern. And Shilzen will be accused of being young because he was on the beach, and he saw that he was driving in front of him. But he is a destiny that helps her, because he was still young, and he would not work to work the text of the sea, and go back to train the swimming again. And we see Rio as Pethis with Steve Zimolo in training, but he suddenly stands because he is seeing the dumbbell and selling it, and when he got out of the swimming pool. The coach says that he must focus more if he wants to complete with him in the training because he is the level of workers who takes him, and he will not be able to participate with him in the Roma competition, but Roy is suffocating with him and he is fanatic about him, and he will usually be narrated from the time of the death of Hamo to the extent that he loses all his companions because of nervousness. And at the time there is a beautiful girl named Vivian, and she was watching the training and she was accompanied by Christine, and Vivian will be linked to Steve, who trains with Roy, and with a sense that Steve Baknaha because there is no interested in the first costume, not even talking to her. And after the exercise, Steve goes with Vivian and Christine at the house, and on the way, Christine says to them that she is a fan of Broe and she goes to enter with her in a relationship in Patrico on her, and tells her that he is a very nervous person. It is fanatic about it in every need, and it can also hit it. So he would be picked out of their words. And the end of the day, is a fans on the house. And he enters along the dinner, and it will be with his little sister. She says that she is not ready for the competition and thinks that she does not share in it at all. And their father's words are brought to the house at this time. And he begins to suffocate with Roy, because his level of swimming does not improve, and says that if he does not care about his exercise, he will work with him in the workshop in order to improve it from their material condition. Remy's house is his words, Bizaba Bimishi and Bairu the swimming pool, and the pellets of the picture so that no one can see it because it is forbidden to swim late. And in the children, this is connected to Vivian Babuha because he is a traveler. And Vivian will be a fork that in problems between her father and her mother, because he travels very, very much. But she does not care because she is focused in the physics exam for her sold and prefer tickets all night, so that she can succeed and enter the university, and the teeth of what they are tickets trying to contact Steve. But he did not blink on her because he is busy in the exercise. And when you woke up again, the day that Steve meets her while she was sleeping, but she did not respond to it. Visit her at home, and I apologize to her that he is not known to her. So she says that she was in need of her side because she was afraid of the exam for her, but she is not interested in her and a hero who loves her, so Stevie tries to guide her and tell her that he loves her. And at the end of the day, Vivian goes walking in the city, and by chance by seeing her mother with a stranger in Cavill alone. And Vivian made sure here that her mother betrayed her father. So she was shocked, and Vivian walks in the street while she was shocked, and she is not a chain of transmission. But a group of youth appears preferred to narrow it and reflect it, and they want to steal it because it is rich and with it money. But suddenly Roy appears, pays it, and answers the bag for her with her. And she says that she is what is scattered. She walks in places of uniforms. And he showed that Roy admires her. But he cannot admit her love because she is rich and he is poor. I will not be able to make her like it easily. Because of her arms and the problems she was exposed to at home, she decides in Vian that she will not be cursed, and looked at the base of the exams before she received the paper until she quickly returns to Christine's house and is collapsed because even she does not know. She talks to Steve and tells him what happened, and she drank with Christine, and this is the first time she drinks wine, so her condition is very bad. And the end of the day they go to a party that will work her work in school. And Baby Roy is on the party, and the first thing that Visavan is trying to close it and dance with it and take advantage of it if he is disguised, and you will not know it. And during the party Bishop Roy is one of his colleague, and I am with me with 2 tannin. So Roy lost his nerves and paid for his colleague. And it is preferable to hit the young man who suffocated with him to some extent that he loses consciousness. So you say that he is a nervous person and along not the unity, and this is not afraid to get to know him, but when she approached him, he envied that he is a natural person, and she says that she is the examination of the exam that she was driving more than a year. So it is difficult for him and tries to reassure her and tell her that she is able to test again when she is preparing for the inspector and noticing Vivian at the time that Roy Benzel because of the betrayal. So she says that she answers him with a tissue to stop the bleeding and go so that she will answer. And when she returned to meet him, she walked, so she was very upset with him. But she thinks that he said that he was going to the swimming pool at this time. So he went behind the pool, and he actually met him there. And the second day of Bairu Roy for the swimming exercise. And he says to the coach that he is not ready to participate in the championship. So the coach went down the pool, and proves to the narrator that they can win the competition easily, but on the condition that they are afraid and say that he will participate with him in the competition. He must win Steve and agree. When he connects Steve to exercise, he will compete with him, and Roy can precede him in a second scattering team. He also cares about his sleep so that they can earn, and after the exercise, Stevie will speak to Vivian and try to write on it and say that he is busy about it, because he is interested in his exercise, but in reality he will be bouquet her, so they try to escape talking to him and change the topic, but they are tired of her. By saying that he forgot until he asks her, she did what the exam is done with her, but he did not care about it and says that he must return to the exercise again, so you confronted Vivian from his style with her and repeated that she is separated from him at the appropriate time, because at the time she is dispersed and she does not know what she will do, except that she is still discovered by her mother's betrayal of her father, and she also discovered that Stevie betrayed her, and that she did not enter the exam that she dreamed of being afraid and succeeded in it, and who did not leave the house. I noticed that her father returned from scratch, and listened to talking to her mother about a topic that separated them, and when she asked them, then what they are talking about, and her father told her that they decided to separate from a year, and they were hiding on her because of the examination of her, and they intended to tell her the truth after entering the university. So, Vivian is shocked by their words, and it is not true to those who heard and not believed that they were writing on it throughout the year, that missed this, so that they are convinced that they are still crowned. They say where they did not enter the exam because she saw her mother with her new lover and entered her in a state of shock, and I could not enter the exam. And she tells them that she is offering the house and walking because they have grabbed her future. And the house is in place, and she walks in the streets in order to be able to enter his exam and succeed in it, and enter the university that she had hoped for. And at the time, Steve sold her a message and tells her that he traveled to Rome to attend the competition, so Vivian repeats travel to him and went away from her family, and she does not say to Steven she will travel so that she can make it a surprise, and the second day is to move on her path, and the first thing that your eyes will come to enter the hotel quickly, and you will find the employee and say that she forgot the key to her in the fashion, so she looked up and meets him on the way. So she says that she will make a surprise to Stavo, she will be in his cat until he kneeling, so she will tell her, and he will enter his cat, but he decides at the time that he is visiting all the places that are Broma because this is the city in which he is born in it. And the mother also died in it before they got to America, which is not a brush, not once from the time of his mother's death, because everything that returns to her is that he was forgiving the death of his mother and that he was able to save her, but he did not need a need, and we notice that Roy admires a very fool, to the extent that he is standing in front of the cat, and its level is coming out, so he is messing against Vivian and suggested that they visit the places in Rome, so Vivian agrees because Steve is necessary. And they enjoy their time with each other, and when Roy tries that he is close to her, she refuses to say that she is in a relationship with Steve, so she would have gave up to her and show her a tour of the lake. So you repeat that the rest of the day will spend with Roy, and then go to the hotel in Rome. And they gave there, as if they were in the hotel to drink in the bar without paying money. But the employees discovered that they were confirming that they are not barricades at the hotel at all, so they asked them to security, and when it noticed that they discovered their adults, they fled quickly Vivian so they would show the role in the hotel in a swimming pool. So Roy is resting, and Vivian was surprised by his daring, because he is forbidden to use this pool and descends with him. And if she will not be able to betray him, and they must return to the hotel quickly, so it is annoying from her provocative style, but he did not say that Steve also shows her and returns to the hotel quickly and caught at his cat and intervened is the cat of Steve, and the first thing that opens the cat is shocked when you discover that Steve shows her. So you are shocked, and you do not know how to act, so you can quickly and graduate from the hotel, and she is rich, and you do not know where you will go, and he saw her, and he saw that he is stopping her and guiding her. But she says that he is a lie because he was knowing that Steve was groaning and frightened, and she said that he lost her fall because he wrote on it. In kind, Billy began to marvel that she decided to separate from him, and that Vivian would be at the time that this is fanatic, and she would not know what she says. So she says that he is a failure, and is successful in any relationship in his life. It is impossible to interfere with him in his relationship, because he fails in their relationship, as he failed in his life, in a very narrated narration from his words, and he feels that he was his essence and decides that he is away from him, and is thinking about the association with her again. But she feels the calamity that is her currency and begins to blame herself because she was fanatical to him, and he is not a mistake in the first place, so he came back so that she apologizes to her words, but he ignores him and does not blush her. Suddenly, while she is preparing the road by floundering, it is Arabic with a pardon in Vian on the ground, and to lose consciousness, so he is rarely narrated to her, so that she will be missing and the hospital will be in her, and the doctor discovers that she has come to you in the brain, and that she will forget many needs because of the superiority of the coma that is in it, and asking them to make it thinking about its own, and it is overwhelmed by Vivian in the coma dedicated. And he loses Roy in the period of this time, because she was running and saw him, because she was proud of him. So he decided that he retired from swimming and returns to work with Abu in the workshop with his own. And it is preferable to be upset all the time because he always harms all those who love them, and on a day he is in the workshop, his father says that it was an accident and if he did not cause it, and asks him to return to the permissibility of another. Because he is upset all the time, and I wouldn't like to see him in this scene. But it was very upset, and decided that he is away from all the people who love them, so that they do not harm them. Although he loves her very much, he pulled the end of the day to the hospital. Byra visits her and her cats, and asks the nurse that he is sitting with her, even for 5 minutes. So the nurse complies with her and occupies her to see the song that she occupied for her in Rome. So Viviano's care is as if she was a sense of his existence. So it is narrated because the 5 is a clearer. Even if he is more than a sitting than this, it can cause himself a problem. And the second day is a superiority in an elephant of coma. And the doctor met his daughter who says that she is good. But she has a partial loss in Zachara. And this makes her forget many needs. But she will think with time. So he thanked FIFA for his interest in her, and ranged at the house. And when she returns to her case, she noticed that she was books of numbers and many equations in the costume. But it is not thinking about it, because it is the books of the numbers, and it is preferable to watch the rest of the costume, so that you try to think of everything before the incident, and notice that in the jacket pocket with a picture of her. But it is not thinking about the image. This is when, and the first thing that you hold on the picture, is thinking at the time of the accident. But it is not possible to determine the features of Roy, and it will be the opinion of Steve, so Christine went to bite Roy, and she says that Vivian exceeded the coma and saw the image that is her pictures of her in Rome. But Roy tells her that he will not bring Vivian again, because he is the reason for the incident by her, and her Pezape, and Bimchi and Byru for the workshop to complete his work with his father. So his father says to him, that he knew that Vivian was missing from the coma. And if he wants to approach her, because he loves her and says that he must be destroyed and tied because it was an accident and he is not the cause of it, and he said it. He sacrificed many years of his life. And he was upset with the death of his mother. And they say that he is expelled from the workshop to some extent. He succeeds in swimming and reconciles Vivian and is associated with it, so they rejoice they are the two because finally their relationship was improved. And his father, Abu el-Arabiya, has his possession, and he says that she remained in his possession and is able to use it at any time. And he comments all the pictures of Rome so that she can work for her, and at the time, Vivian will be with her father and mother in the city restaurant. In the meantime, she thinks Vivian when she saw her mother, and she betrayed her father and thinks that her father and her mother separated from some, so she was shocked when she thinks again. And confronting them in fact, and her father told her that they were really separated, but after what the modernity did they decided that they would return some to keep it and take care of it, and when it returns in Vian al-Bait by seeing the pictures on her family Roy. So you rejoice with her very much and imagine with this pictures of her joy and start watching the pictures, and the first thing that holds the pictures you think of every need. So I got this day and thinks that what was with her was a role that is not Steve in the second day. And she was in the full pictures of the picture so that you can keep it by noticing that he sent on his back a copy of the pictures and says roll in it on a place you meet in it. And if it is a favor that you meet, Vivian repeated that she went and confessed to her love. So she went at the end of the day for the hotel, which is the philosopher, the address, and his first interview is once from the time of the accident. And she said that she thought that he was the one who had the time of the modernity. And Vivian admits to him her love. And she says that she is finally happy with me. And I do not want to go away from him again for any reason. Also it was narrated. And he was repeated. And he repeated his life again with her. And the movie will be saved.